Viewers, almost a month ago, Turkey decided to launch an offensive for Sirte and Al Jufra. We saw preparations from Turkish and GNA side, from LNA side as well. So far, no decisive step has been taken by Turkey for starting this offensive. Why is that? Why is it taking so long? Is Turkey fully convinced about launching this offensive for Sirte and Al Jufra? Or Turkey has dropped this idea of Sirte offensive, but it is just making these preparations to put pressure upon LNA and the countries backing LNA. So in this video, I'll have a look at this question. Firstly, viewers, I informed you in one of my previous videos that Turkey is facing three types of problems. Logistical issues, it has to bring its military hardware from Turkey via the Mediterranean to Libya, so it takes time. Secondly, operational issues, its drones, they have TB2's limited range, so in order to increase their range, more control rooms need to be built. Then operators of these drones, operators of other military hardware, they also need to be trained if they are Libyan. Thirdly, diplomatic issues, diplomatic pressure upon Turkey to halt this operation for Sirte. Turkey was facing all these issues, but viewers, so much time has passed, almost a month. So why is that still no signs of the starting of this offensive? Well, viewers, firstly, I think both the sides, they have spoken so much about this offensive, they have taken this stance that now it is becoming difficult for both the sides to retreat from this stance. Turkey says it wants to go ahead with Sirte offensive. We heard from Tayyip Erdogan, Turkish president. He openly said that Sirte and other oil-rich areas, they must be controlled by Turkey and GNA, and this offensive will continue until these areas are under the control of Turkey and GNA. We saw from Fayez Sarraj, Libyan Prime Minister, then Fatih Bashaga, other important figures in GNA, that this offensive for Sirte, it will go ahead at any cost. So they took this stance, which is becoming difficult for them now to retreat from, I think. Because now they know that this is not a GNA-LNA fight. Other countries have also taken a similar stance. Now it will be a Turkey-Egypt war, Turkey-Russia war, Turkey-UAE war. Egypt has also taken this clear stance that Sirte and Al Jufra are red lines. If you cross this red line, Egypt will be forced to directly intervene into this Libyan conflict. Aguila Saleh, head of Tobruk-based Libyan HOR, he has openly said that if these red lines are crossed by Turkey and GNA, we will call upon Egypt to interfere in Libya. Then viewers, Russia has also openly said that these are red lines. And if you remember, viewers, when Bani Walid and Trahona, when LNA fighters withdrew from these two areas, immediately after that, Turkey and GNA fighters, they tried to storm Sirte, but Russians intervened. Their fighter jets carried out airstrikes. GNA suffered heavy casualties and they had to withdraw. And at that time, viewers, it was heard that Russia had delivered a message to Deputy Prime Minister of GNA that Sirte was a red line, so GNA fighters must withdraw from Sirte. And reportedly, Deputy Prime Minister of GNA had sent this message to Sirte control room that Sirte must not be stormed. It is a red line for Russia. We heard this news, viewers. We heard from GNA sources that there has been some debate about this message sent by GNA Deputy Prime Minister to Sirte control room to halt this offensive for Sirte. So it means Russia did deliver this message to GNA that Sirte was red line for them. So all the sides viewers, all of them have taken a very hard stance. Now it is becoming difficult for each of them to retreat from this stance, especially for Turkey and GNA viewers. How will they retreat from their stance that they will go ahead with Sirte and Al Jufra? Now they are seeing that it is not GNA, LNA thing, it is Turkey, Russia, Turkey, UAE, Turkey, Egypt thing. And these Alwati airstrikes viewers, they have further confirmed this thing that war is not going to be now between LNA and GNA. It is going to be between Turkey and Russia, Turkey and Egypt if this offensive for Sirte and Al Jufra is launched. I think Turkey has calculated these things very wisely. Turkey knows that some countries want this war to be Turkey-Russia affair, Turkey-Egypt affair. So they want Turkey to be directly in conflict with Russia and Egypt and UAE. And Turkey wants to avoid this direct confrontation against Russia and Egypt or UAE. That is very wise, I think, I believe, because Turkey did not come here to fight against Russia. Turkey did not come here to fight Egyptians or UAE. Turkey came here to prop up the government of GNA, Faiz Sarraj. Turkey came here to protect its maritime agreement with GNA, to have other agreements. So Turkey will go to the extent of securing its economic interests. If Turkey goes beyond that, which some countries want, it could be very dangerous for Turkey. That is why I think Turkey is trying to take things very slow. Turkey is keeping this pressure upon LNA. But at the same time, it is not starting this offensive. There is another thing which I believe is that LNA wants Turkey to launch this offensive now. They want Turkey to start this offensive. We heard from Al-Mizmari just yesterday, I think. Al-Mizmari said that Turkey can launch this offensive for Sirte anytime. I think they want Turkey to start this offensive because right now Russia is proactively supporting them. Egypt is saying that we'll come to help you out if Sirte offensive is launched. UAE is also standing behind them. So now they have proactive support of so many countries, and they know that if Turkey launches this offensive, these countries will proactively back LNA. For Turkey viewers right now is how to get out of this deadlock. Turkey made some tall claims that will storm Sirte, will take control of Sirte Basin, will take control of Al Jufra. But now they are seeing that everywhere Russia, Egypt and UAE are there, not LNA fighters. So they need some face saving as well, viewers. You will have to give them some face saving. If you don't give them face saving, they will have to press ahead with this offensive for Sirte. They need this face saving, viewers. What will be the form of this face saving, that I'll talk about in the next video. I think now international community is working on some sort of solution which will be acceptable for both Turkey and GNA and the other side as well. If this solution is not agreed upon by both the parties, we are moving towards a very deadly escalation, viewers, because so much has been piled up on both sides, on GNA and LNA side, viewers. If this battle starts, it is going to be a very deadly battle, viewers. We'll see the use of the most advanced military hardware, and we'll see involvement of several countries in this conflict. It will lead to large scale instability in the region.